let's go. Back again, consistent as always, right?
How long has it actually been?
It's been a solid 3 weeks, I think.
Really?
Well, but there's been because we haven't done it in a while.
Well, have you done one without me though, at all? With any of your friends?
Maybe. No, definitely not with friends over Zoom.
Oh.
It's usually either I'm doing it by myself, but hopefully we're starting to do some NFL ones. But yeah, we're kicking this sucker off with a bang. I don't even know if I can do this anymore, honestly. But at least I have been following the UFC, and we were going to start a little bit earlier, but Bianca felt like it was completely necessary to turn a lamp off that I had, a cool little Death Star glow lamp thing. And in doing that, she knocked over my perfectly full glass of water onto my chair.
Right on the chair.
But it was actually one of the most impressive ones ever because she completely missed the desk. It just went right down into the seat of the chair and then dripped out the back.
Because the chair's made of mesh.
Very minimal mess, but still. I have no idea how she did that for sure. But feels good to be back. And what have you been up to, Bianca,
We've just been, I feel like, taking trips.
Yeah,
I
Bianca's
went to
been gone
Arizona.
A lot. I've been gone.
Yeah, we went to California. We're going to California again this upcoming weekend.
Just for my grandma. Does it count as California, though?
It does.
It's like going to the desert.
Yeah.
I was going to ask my sister that. What do you think going to California means? Like, when you say, like, I'm going to California, like, even though I know you can go to, like, Northern California, but, like, what do you think counts? Like, it's like San Francisco and below?
Yeah.
Or, like, Sacramento or something. Anything above that, I feel like you're just, in Southern Oregon.
I agree. Literally, actually, that's a good point. I would say San Francisco is the first thing that counts as California.
Yeah. I don't know. Because everything above that's like State of Jefferson almost, right? No. I don't know. Never mind. But okay. We're not. So obviously we're going to talk about UFC. I don't want to go back too far because UFC 277, that was a bit ago. The London card, Aspinall versus Blades, that was a bit ago, and then that was before that, and then this last one was Santos versus Hill. I'll go over like a couple things, but I'm just gonna do like main bullet points. But first, I came up with a very interesting thing that has nothing to do with UFC, and I thought we would share it with you guys. So me and Bianca are very big TV show connoisseurs, especially because of COVID, and we have been watching basically any funny comedy, and I wanted to go through, and I kind of wanted to get Bianca's thoughts on what her top 5 funniest TV characters are. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do one honorable mention, one, and then our top 5, and then I'll give mine. But at first I want to get Bianca to give hers first.
Yeah, well, just to preface, we know it's not a sports related thing, but we are always giving you guys our opinions and like little reviews and everything. So if some of these characters you've never heard of or you haven't seen the shows, you should definitely watch the shows. I might do a little pop-up of their faces, a picture, if you've never seen them, but most likely you have talked. I wish I wrote these down because I listed them to you, like, because we were just talking about the idea of doing this and all of these funny TV shows and characters. And so for honorable mention, I didn't even think about that one. Give your top 5 and then somebody that you're like that just missed it. Okay, so number 5, I think I would put Dwight from The Office. Fucking Steeler. We were talking about this before. Scott, but I changed it to Dwight because I forgot about him, and when Kel told me his, then I stole Dwight. Yeah, we came to the conclusion that Michael Scott's more cringe than funny, but he is hilarious. But a lot of the stuff he does, it's like, but a lot of the stuff, the White stuff that he his one-liners and stuff, those are hilarious. Yeah, so I would say Dwight. Mm-hmm. 4th, I think I gave it to Erlich Bachman. From Silicon Valley? You haven't seen that? Tune in, boy. It's literally, we're obviously late to the party on this one, but I've never had late to Silicon Valley. Anything like, I haven't had any HBO Max anything, and then I decided, because Bianca's sister had a subscription, and then it expired, and I started it, and I was like, I have to finish it. So I got it, and then I basically just paid $15 to watch the rest of Silicon Valley. I didn't watch any other movies on HBO Max. Yeah. There's 6 seasons, right? Mm-hmm. And and Erlich Bachman's not in the last season, or last 2, right? Or just the last one? Last 2. The last 2, but he's by far the funniest one in the first 4. Mm-hmm. My 3rd... I think I gave this to Spencer from
Again,
iCarly.
A loser, girl. No, you can't
we
do that.
We talked
I thought I had a unique list, and then I was like,
you didn't have Spencer on your list. We added him after you and I talked about it.
Okay.
That's not. But am I wrong?
I was.
Yeah,
my
you
brainchild
mentioned him.
She's just stealing all my guys.
He wasn't on your list.
I said I might replace.
We'll go over your list.
I mean, her list is basically mine.
Third is Spencer. Number 2
is Spencer.
Number 2 is. Oh wait, no, I did this wrong.
How do you mess up a list of 5 guys?
Number 5 was Erlich Bachman. My honorable mention was Dwight. Because number 4 was Spencer. Mm-hmm. Number 3 was Schmidt.
Yeah.
From New Girl. So New Girl, Kel said you can only have 1 character per show, but I'm putting 2.
Yeah.
Because Nick and Schmidt are the top, like, funny for me.
Yeah.
So number 3 is Schmidt. Number 2 is Nick, but they could honestly be tied for 2 and 3. Like, could go either way. Number 1, we've talked about this before, is Phil Miller from
Tandy
from Last Man on Earth.
Yeah,
that's literally the funniest, most underrated show that I don't think literally anyone has seen.
It's on Hulu, babies,
and it's so good. There's 4 seasons. 3 seasons.
4, I think. Right?
4
or no?
And they always have little special guest stars. Like Will Ferrell was on it. It's just Jason like Sudeikis. Such a funny cast. Yeah, Jason Sudeikis.
Ted Lasso's on it.
And the whole idea is so weird now watching it after the pandemic, because that show came out like way before COVID, and it's literally about how a virus killed everyone in the world, and he is the last person on Earth until he goes around the country and he like starts seeing that a couple people were immune and survived the virus. Yeah. But it's just so weird because it literally, rewatching it during COVID, like we rewatched it I think during quarantine. Yeah. We're like, this is literally how we're living, because they were like in bubbles wearing masks. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah, it was really relatable for the time. But yeah, that honestly, so my top 3 shows of all time, it has to be, I can't put it in any specific order, but it's definitely Silicon Valley, Last Man on Earth, and then I think I'm gonna have to go with the TD, Ted Lasso.
What? Not New Girl?
Well, New Girl is fun, but it's, I don't know. It just,
you laugh way more New Girl than you did Ted Lasso.
It's more like one of my favorite shows. I really like it. And I was late to the party. We're always late to the party. We should come up with we should have a movie podcast called like Late to the Party, because we always seem to see a movie like a year after it's been released.
Yeah, and we're like talking about it, and it's like, yeah, we've like, this is the best thing
ever. But yeah, my list though. You finished yours?
Yeah, let's go. Let's hear yours. Ours are very different.
Okay, I'll go with we're just gonna bang this sucker off. All right, ready? So I guess honorable mention, I'm gonna have to do I'll do Erlich Bachman. Okay. Erlich Bachman, honorable mention, and then so that doesn't necessarily count. And then I'll go number 5. I had Dwight. Number 4, I have actually I'll do this. Number 5 is Jamie Tart from Ted Lasso. Yeah. Number 4 is Dwight Schrute. Number 3, I think it was it Spencer?
Yeah, I think it was Spencer.
No, oh fuck, dude. There's so many funny people. No, I'm gonna have to go number 3. It has to be I Love Bertram Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley. Okay. And then number 2 and number 1. Actually, I'm gonna do this. I really think that Spencer Shea's number 2, and I think Nick Miller and Tandy Miller, the Millers from
True,
they're equal number shows. 1. I cannot put them where the Millers though.
That's funny. Okay,
I can't put one above the other, so that's a tie for first, and then second is Spencer, and then number 3 is Bertram, and then what I say number 4 is Jamie. Yeah. Or no, number 4 is Dwight, and then number 5 is Jamie Tart. And then
interesting. So our lists are so different.
Yeah. Well, I just had to come up with that right now to make it different. But that's honestly, now thinking about it, I think that's what I would do. Erlich Bachman is freaking hilarious, but the fact that he left the show just like kind of sucks.
Yeah, I don't really think. I think Bertram.
I think he's so funny for some reason. It's just so weird. He's just got the big dick energy going on.
He's like very dry humor. Like he doesn't smile or literally have any emotion, but he just says really like funny one-liners.
And he's the teacher from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Martin
then
Starr or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He's absolutely so cool.
What else? Oh, and Spencer from iCarly is what made the show. Like, Kellan and I literally can rewatch iCarly still now, and we can laugh because he's the funniest. Like, he should have been in so many other things because he's freaking hilarious. What's his name in real life?
Jerry Trainer?
Yeah, Jerry Trainer. We love him. Jerry Trainer, Stan.
Yeah. But that kind of, we kind of spoiled it a little bit because we just couldn't help talking about it. We were just sitting in her backyard and I wanted to hear her list so bad.
Yeah. And I got a couple, because we didn't even talk about Spencer till after the fact because we just started thinking of like, what are some really mainstream sitcoms?
Yeah.
And we just said like iCarly, and we were like, yeah, definitely Spencer has to be on the list.
Yeah. But transitioning, this is a UFC podcast, am I right? And
those were our recommendations though for the shows.
Yeah. If you guys, I mean, I'm sure a ton of people have seen them, but
tell us your favorite
hot take on those.
Your favorite character down below.
Yeah.
Your favorite like funniest person you think is that's in a show. Let us know.
Yeah. Nick Miller and Tandy Miller, dude. Something about the Millers with the last name.
Literally.
They actually could be siblings in real life. And then Ted Lasso is literally Tandy Miller's brother in the show.
They all relate. It's weird.
So they're all just like interconnected, and it's hilarious. But UFC podcast wanted to come at you with a couple things that just kind of, okay, the number one thing, just going back not too far, okay? While I was watching the Jamal Hill versus Santos card, all right, what's one dude, we got to clip this right now, what's one guy that we've been talking about for a while who's been an absolute killer, okay? Michal Oleksiejczuk at 205. He's hung with the best of them. He's beat like Modestas Bukauskas. He's hung with guys like Dustin Jacoby for 3 rounds, and I thought he was honestly kind of winning that fight until there was kind of a big moment in there for Dustin Jacoby. But our boy moves down to the 185-pound weight class, and in my opinion, it's over for other middleweights, because this dude, okay, he's not ranked, and I think he's just so fresh on, like, I don't even think, because I look on this one website, MMA Ranked or whatever, and they don't even have him on there. They don't even have like a baseline ranking for him, and I was looking through it. He is legit. If we just put him against anybody else in that division, I'm pretty sure that he is going to beat them, because the fact that he just hangs with dudes like Dustin Jacoby, who just took out Dao Jung, who's one of the scariest light heavyweights in the UFC, just speaks volumes. And I know Sam Alvey's kind of on a down and out, like he hasn't lost in a bit, but like I'm so pumped that he decided, because everybody was talking while I was watching like his other fights, Joe Rogan, everybody's saying this guy can be an absolute beast if he just loses a little bit of body fat and goes down to 185. And now that he's done it, his tool, like his skill set, is absolutely perfect to beat anybody in that division, because his boxing, his head movement, and his takedown defense, like we saw Sam Alvey try to shoot on him, his sprawl was so strong, and then also the way he just bobs his shoulders and is constantly moving and throws hooks and absolutely has knockout power. I really do think that he's going to be probably in the top 10 at least by the end of this year, because since he has been fighting guys that are so big, there's no reason why we can't put him against another dude, like guys that are really high up in the division, because his grappling, because just the fact that he's felt those bigger, stronger guys, I just think that he's going to be so good. And I've been so high on him. It's just that when you're fighting in a weight class above what you probably should be at, it's kind of like a 50-50 shot, especially when you're that good and you're fighting guys like Dustin Jacoby, that they're going to probably be in the top 10. They're going to be like future title challengers. It's just a 50-50 toss-up. It's like whoever's better on that night, and especially when you don't necessarily have as much strength or attributes as some of those other guys, it's just kind of, it's tough to string wins together because those guys are just so big and all it takes is one blow. But since he's used to feeling that huge power, I really think that he could give anybody in the top 5 a run for their cash, because he's probably now in the middleweight division, if they just fast track him, he's going to be one of the most exciting guys to watch, just because of his style. And that's the one thing that I can't emphasize more, is if in order to beat Israel Adesanya, you can't freaking be scared of him. Like against Jared Cannonier, dude. Jared Cannonier actually had a little bit of success because he actually was kind of pushing the pace a little bit and pressing Israel up against the octagon and landing some strikes. But yeah, you just have to bob your head and just absolutely pray, because beating Israel Adesanya, you can't just stay on the outside and beat him. But I guess Michal Oleksiejczuk, that's the biggest thing that I took away from last week's card is I had to, because I was literally in the shower and then I had my volume up all the way just to make sure I knew when the fight was coming on. And then when they announced the walkouts and stuff, I hopped out and I just watched it in my bathroom. God. Because I was like, dude, this is not going to go well for Sam Alvey, because Michal Oleksiejczuk, and I didn't realize that he was moving down to 185. That's how much out of the loop I've been with the UFC.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm so pumped for him. But yeah, boys. And then there's just been so many absolutely sick fights that have been announced, dude. Like, literally, I know I'm kind of out here. Like, literally, they have been announced like 2 weeks ago. But Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley. Okay, I was thinking about this today. Is that Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley? Terrible matchup. Nobody understands why Petr Yan. I mean, nobody understands why. I wrote Sugar Birdie. Sugar Sean. Nobody understands why Sugar Sean would want to take this fight against Petr. And this is what again, in the shower. The shower is the absolute best place for good thoughts. And all right, if you're Sugar Sean O'Malley, Bianca, though, and you know Petr Yan, former bantamweight champion, won the last 2 rounds against the current champion, Aljamain Sterling, who a lot of people aren't too fond of. But why would Sugar Sean want to take this fight? And why would Dana White be sold on making this fight? I'll tell you why right now. It's because of the main event this upcoming week. This is why the Sugar Sean O'Malley fight makes sense. If Marlon Vera gets by Dominic Cruz, it's bam. Dominic Cruz has been like called that, like Sugar Sean O'Malley has wanted to fight Dominic Cruz, okay? It's perfect if Dominic wins, but the biggest fight that I think that people are forgetting about is a Marlon Vera versus Sean O'Malley number 2. Because both of these guys have, I mean, Marlon Vera, he basically has beef with everybody in the division because he doesn't give a shit. And he has like the best mentality ever. And he has a chin of steel. And so he's a good matchup against anybody that can really, that has good hands in the bantamweight division. But like Petr Yan and Marlon Vera, they also have history. But I really do think that the biggest selling point that Dana White's like seeing money signs is if Marlon Vera wins here and the Sean O'Malley wins the fight against Petr Yan, that could be one of the biggest fights in the history of the UFC, because the build up to that will be insane. Sean O'Malley can somehow beat the number 1 contender in Petr Yan. I mean, he's probably going to become the cash cow for the, I mean, he already brings in so much money, but if you can somehow beat a guy like Petr Yan, who I think had an off night against Aljamain Sterling, he's gonna be the guy. And I was saying that going into the Pedro Munoz fight, how I think that kind of for some of these guys, like the ship is sailed on beating Sean O'Malley easily, dude. Like his ground game is evolving, his striking some of the best, and he gives, even against Pedro Munoz, like Pedro was so scared to engage. But that's the thing, Marlon Vera is not afraid to engage with him because he kind of has like the length and attributes to match him striking wise, because Marlon Vera can pick you apart from the outside too, like, and he can take you to the ground. And like I don't think Sean O'Malley, when it comes down to it, if Sean O'Malley gets past Petr Yan, he's not, dude, fighting a guy like Jose Aldo, TJ Dillashaw, Aljamain Sterling, all those guys want to take it to the ground. Marlon Vera doesn't give a shit, so that's why it's so sick, is because Marlon Vera will just stand on the feet with him. But that's my like selling point on why Dana White was like okayed the Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley, is just because there's a huge fight this weekend in San Diego, and it could just bring so much cash. But yeah, and it'll be actually exciting too. Like a lot of those guys, when things aren't going well for them on the feet, they just want to take the fight to the ground, like Aljamain Sterling. But Marlon Vera, he's like, I honestly think Marlon Vera, besides Merab Dvalishvili, he's probably the most dangerous in the division, just because you can hit him with a knockout blow and he's not going away. He could lose every single round, but then he'll just put the pace on you, and then he can just front kick you in the face like he did to Frankie Edgar. Like he doesn't have to have the fight going his way in order for him to like get a dub. Like he could be losing like 3 rounds in a 5-round fight, and then all of a sudden just turn it on in the 4th, and then it's all over. But yeah, I think that that's the biggest, because when I was making my card, the fights I want to see most, I put Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera 2 on there, because that fight will be absolutely sick. Because Marlon Vera, he's just not scared of anybody. And it's like the sickest thing ever because the bantamweight division is full of absolute killers. And he's evolved so much in the last few fights. Like when he fought Jose Aldo, I was like pretty sure that he wasn't going to beat Jose Aldo, but ever since he fought David Grant, beat Frankie Edgar, and then put that masterclass on against Rob Font, he's a completely different guy. And I really do think Dominic Cruz bit off a little bit more than he could chew. But who do you think is going to win? Do you think Dominic Cruz is going to win or Marlon Vera?
I think Marlon Vera.
Yeah. The only thing is Dominic Cruz, he's got really good footwork though. And like that's obviously known. And he's so hard to hit. Good. He gets touched sometimes because against Pedro Munoz, he got touched a couple times. And after that, Pedro had nothing for him. So it's just going to be interesting to see what type of game plan Marlon goes. Because like even if Dominic lands a few shots, it's not going to affect Marlon whatsoever. Because Marlon, he literally got cracked so many times by Rob Font and wasn't touching Rob Font that much. And Rob Font's face just puffed up like a balloon.
Yeah.
And Marlon didn't even look like he was at the end of a fight. Like he wasn't even affected. He just wears it so well, dude. And it was a pretty hard fought decision too. But
dang.
Yeah, that's really like the only fight. Like obviously David Onama versus Nate Landwehr, that's going to be a sick fight. Gerald Meerschaert, Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva's a beast because Alex Pereira is fighting Israel Adesanya now for the undisputed middleweight title. And if you go back, a little bit, Bruno Silva gave him some trouble. So like Bruno Silva's legit. That's like literally the only fight that I really wanted to highlight. There's some good ones, but yeah, the Marlon Vera versus Dominic Cruz, it has just so many huge implications for the
lots of revenue.
Yeah, but also just if Marlon Vera can win this fight, I really do think that he's in line to be a title challenger. And then also, dude, actually what I was so pumped about, Amanda Nunes getting her belt back against Juliana Pena. I can't, dude, I'm sorry, I just can't stand Juliana Pena, bro. I know everybody. I was texting my one friend and he's like,
that is sick.
And he loves Juliana Pena and stuff. You can't knock her, but she just kind of rubs me the wrong way, dude. I don't know.
Wasn't she the girl that like when we first started the podcast that I was made the joke about?
Yeah.
And you posted a clip?
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, no.
Because you were because you said that she was attractive.
Yeah. Well, I was just joking.
But she is. Like, for being in the UFC, like, I feel like you don't see a lot of girls who, like, try to get all dolled up and, like...
Yeah. And but going back to her, I guess, I was so pumped for Muhammad Usman. He won the Ultimate Fighter. First brothers, I think, to ever win the Ultimate Fighter. That's pretty sick. And then also Juliana Miller, who,
That was, Pooh Bear.
Yeah.
That was Pooh Bear.
Yeah, Pooh Bear was on the card too. Yeah, dude, this actually, okay, low key though, I know a couple fights got canceled, but it was like the perfect length ever. The Hill versus Santos card was so sick because I missed the first two fights, but then Brian Battle absolutely destroyed Takashi Tensato. I was so pumped. Brian Battle, he's so good. He's legit. He moved down to 170, bro.
I told you that I called it from the beginning when we watched the show that he was my favorite, that he was going to win. And he called Tresean winning. And then they fought, right?
Yeah.
And he still won.
Yo, yeah, dude. Tresean, he's actually struggled too because he lost to Cody Brundage, but like Brian Battle, he's legit, bro. Mm-hmm. His kicks are so fast and he's got good hands.
I should be betting on fights.
Yeah, and him versus Brian Barberena would be a sick fight. But Brian Barberena, he also spells a Y. Because like Brian Battle, he was like, I don't like how you spell your name. He's like, it's Brian with a Y. And then the commentators were like, he does spell it with a Y though. So he kind of like fucked up the call out, but it's okay. But Brian Battle was a beast. And then obviously we got done talking about Michelle. Terrence McKinney, my dad was like, will Terrence McKinney fight? Because I think Terrence McKinney wants to fight Patty the Batty. There's no way in hell Terrence McKinney. I mean, Patty would take that fight. Terrence McKinney's way too scary. Terrible matchup for Patty. Just because Terrence is just so heavy-handed.
He's just so funny looking.
He's got the sickest haircut in the sport for sure. And okay. But I was pumped to see Juliana Miller. She absolutely dismantled Brogan Walker. Muhammad Usman stunned Zach Powell.
Her name is Brogan?
Yeah, Joe Brogan.
Imagine if you were a girl and your name was Brogan.
It's okay. She's from Guam.
Oh.
She'll let you know about it too.
Well, her thinks is America. That she's from the United States.
Doesn't Guam count as America?
I think it's like a territory. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, there's like a military base there and stuff.
I don't know. But that's just I've never heard that name, especially for a girl. Brogan? I feel like that'd be a guy's name.
No. I think Brogan's a pretty neutral name.
What's up, bro? Brogan?
What's up, Joe?
Brogster?
She's an elementary school teacher, I think. But the main
She's an elementary school teacher and her hobby is fighting in the UFC? There's no way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's an elementary school teacher.
How do you have time to train?
I don't know. She finds time. She's going to have to find more time, too, because Juliana Miller actually put it on her.
I feel like that is not a good thing to do as your side job. Like, oh, yeah, hey, kids, like, sorry, I'm a little not feeling that well today.
I could have lied just now, but I'm pretty sure.
My eyes swollen because I got beat up because I do fighting for a living on the side.
Do you want nice things in this classroom?
I just feel like it's not a good, like,
or not?
thing to tell kids.
Yeah. And then our boy Yamhal Hill is an absolute killer because I think that he, out of anybody besides Magomed Ankalaev, if there's anybody more, there's nobody more exciting in the division besides the champ. Jamal Hill versus Jiri Prochazka would probably be one of the greatest fights in the history of the UFC because Jamal Hill, even though I don't think he understands that he's fighting in a division that anybody can get knocked out at any given time at light heavyweight, but he doesn't give a shit, and he has really good head movement, and he throws absolute nukes. So when they connect with people, they go out cold, but
they go.
But watching him get in the phone booth, like he says, and throw is just the most.
He calls it the phone booth.
Yeah, like fighting in a phone booth, bro. Because they're such close quarters. But yeah, Jamal Hill fights like he's like a flyweight sometimes, and he's just so unbelievably good. But yeah, then there was like a couple other things that I wanted to mention. So going back to UFC 277, obviously, I think the one fight everybody wants to see, that's Alexandre Pantoja versus Brandon Moreno. If Brandon Moreno can just get a dub over Figgy again, you have to do Pantoja because Pantoja has that dub over Brandon Moreno. You have to do that fight because I think Alexandre, he's the man right now, dude. Like, he just ran in there and choked out Alex Perez, and that's not easy to do whatsoever. Alexandre, he's just so good, and I feel like he's just so underrated. The 125-pound division doesn't get enough love for sure, but he's so exciting. His striking's so good, and then he can just take your back in an instant. And so, yeah, those are the main. So Michal Oleksiejczuk, Jan versus Sugarbird, Alexandre Pantoja, and then one of the last things I need to talk about. It's on UFC 280. Okay, This is a hot take right now, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this right now: is Mateusz Gamrot versus Beneil Dariush. Mateusz Gamrot's toughest fight by far has been against Arman Tsarukyan, and I will say this: that Mateusz Gamrot, his toughest fight is going to remain against Arman Tsarukyan. Okay, I know the lightweight division is absolutely stacked with freaking monsters, but I think Arman Tsarukyan is like the best in the world, basically, and I think he can beat anybody in the world. I was thinking about this. I honestly don't think it's too far-fetched to think that Mateusz Gamrot makes light work of Beneil Dariush. I know it's a hot take. I know Beneil Dariush is an absolute beast mode. I know he's great, but what is Beneil Dariush? Beneil Dariush, he's going to want to take you. He's going to want to take you down to the ground, and he's going to want to beat you up. But you can't do that against Mateusz. That game plan is simply not going to work because Mateusz has Olympic-style wrestling, like Olympic-level wrestling, and when a absolute superhero like Arman Tsarukyan like tries to take you down, or like just like those scrambles, watching the Mateusz Gamrot versus Arman Tsarukyan fight, which is pound for pound one of the best of the year, like Mateusz isn't staying on the ground if you take him down. So like that's just absolutely not an option. So you're just gonna have to beat him on the feet. And when it comes to who's better on the feet, I'm gonna have to go with Mateusz Gamrot. And I think Mateusz just has more avenues to beat Beneil. I know Beneil is a stud, okay? I'm not taking that away from him, but it's just really hard for me to imagine a world in which any fight is harder than what he just endured against Arman Tsarukyan, okay? I know he's like, okay, I know this is like tough, but he's fought Tony Ferguson, who looked good his last time out, but like this was maybe a different Tony Ferguson back in 2021. And then he beat Diego Ferreira via split decision. Scott Holtzman, Dakar Close. Those are like good guys, but I'm sorry, bro, but if you, I don't care how you do it, but when you have a W next to your name after fighting a guy named Arman Tsarukyan, that just like means a lot more to me than holding down Tony Ferguson for like 25 minutes or whatever the fuck he did, 15 minutes. That's what I know. Beneil Dariush is an absolute killer. He's got great ground game, but that ground game's canceled out by Mateusz Gamrot, dude. I'm sorry. So that's those are my hot takes. Is Michal Oleksiejczuk scariest contender? I think Mateusz makes light work of Beneil Dariush, and then also the Petr Yan versus Sugar O'Malley.
Are we gonna try to watch this on Saturday? When we're at your grandma's?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's the day of the golf tournament.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
Well, you can rewatch the fights.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch the main event for sure. Marlon Vera is must-watch TV every single time.
Yeah.
Is there anything else, Bianca, that you just wanted to get off your chest regarding the UFC?
The UFC. Honestly,
let's check out.
Love that Conor's becoming an actor.
Love that, honestly.
Like, go off, make that.
But then I think he tweeted something today saying you guys are gonna get ready to witness the greatest MMA comeback of all time.
What?
So we gotta focus on one thing.
He's doing too much.
Dude, I honestly think if he comes back, who the fuck are you gonna fight? What do you want to do here, Conor?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do here? You're trying to get knocked out by Justin Gaethje?
Yeah, exactly. It's
are you trying to
he's still so good,
get knocked out by Michael Chandler? Or are you trying to get knocked out by like anybody else?
Conor is still such a good fighter, but I feel like the guys that are in that division now or weight class have literally improved so much. Where he's like more.
Ooh,
he's at a standstill.
Yeah. Let's talk about something right now.
Love when he doesn't listen, and I'm the one talking right now.
I'm literally agreeing with you on how good the lightweight division is. Literally, all these great guys are influxing. All these guys are going down. Like Dan Hooker's moving down, Tony Ferguson moving down, Conor's moving down, Demir's Magulov, Jalen Turner, Arman Tsarukyan, Mateusz Gamrot, guys like Jamie Malarkey. All these dudes coming up, bro. And it's just gonna get tougher and tougher the longer you wait. The window for Conor, honestly, to get a title, I think, is absolutely closed. Yeah. Because there's just no way that he can beat Charles Oliveira, bro.
All those guys.
Yeah, and if by somehow he did beat Charles Oliveira, what are you gonna do? Defend it against Islam Makhachev?
There's like, no way Conor could beat Charles.
And then if by the craziest thing ever that you beat Islam Makhachev, what are you gonna do? Fight Dustin Poirier, the guy who beat you twice in a row? Like, no, like this just isn't gonna happen. But I think that honestly, the greatest lightweight of all time is Michael Chandler.
Really?
Greatest? No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying.
Bold
statement. When did Mans come in here? He came in here when? He came in here January 23rd, 2021. Fights Dan Hooker, fights Charles Oliveira, fights Justin Gaethje, fights Michael Chandler. I mean, fights himself.
Ferguson,
fights Tony Ferguson, and then he's gonna be fighting Dustin Poirier. Those are the toughest fucking guys in the world at lightweight.
His first fight was like with Dan Hooker, which at the time he was ranked pretty high.
Oh yeah, Dan Hooker's an absolute killer for sure. I mean, he's kind of been on a skid or whatever, but he's never really been the same after that Dustin Poirier fight.
When he got knocked out,
dingers.
Didn't he get knocked out?
He got knocked out against Michael. Yeah, Michael knocked him out. And then Michael basically almost knocked out Charles, and then he got knocked. And then Charles got, and then Michael got KO'd.
Crazy that
every single fight
that fight was insane.
Michael Chandler's in is a
good
dog fight.
Like he definitely brings the views.
Oh yeah, every single time. And this Poirier fight, I don't even know how that's gonna go. Dustin Poirier, he just doesn't get tired though. That's what I don't. So that's like it's gonna be a war of attrition. I don't even know if that fight's gonna be announced.
I didn't even know who Dustin Poirier was until that fight with Conor. I had literally never heard of him.
What?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
How's that possible?
I don't know.
I think he's. I don't know. Yeah, nope. That fight's not announced yet, but I'm pretty sure it's close. It's close.
Michael and
Poirier.
Mm-hmm. That would be so good.
I don't know who's gonna win.
I've been missing actually watching sometimes.
Really? You've been having withdrawals?
Well, no, watching a good fight because some of these cards have not been that great. I feel like.
Jesus. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I haven't watched a UFC fight with Kel in probably like what, a month, 2 months.
We've been busy, bro.
I know.
You've been gone a lot.
I literally am always gone or working or with Kellan. And when I'm with Kellan, I want to actually hang out with him and not watch the fights. So he's actually been also a lot better about
I just watch them on my own time.
If something is like going on a Saturday.
No, I can't do anything this Saturday.
Because he used to be like that. You used to be like, it's Saturday, I can't do anything. I'm watching the fights. But now you're like, I can rewatch them later.
Yeah.
So we also we've done a lot more together.
Yeah. But, Ilia Topuria versus Edson Barboza, I think yes. That's a big step up in competition for Ilia. Okay. We'll talk about more later, like as the fight gets closer and stuff. Mm-hmm. But what's another big fight that got announced that like we weren't expecting whatsoever? Khamzat versus Nate. Oh, jeez, yeah. This has been the talk of the absolute town, huh? It has. Nate's a big boy. That's all I'm gonna say. Nate knows what he's doing.
Yeah, with taking that fight, but that's gonna be a bloodbath.
It's not looking good there.
Do you think he'll actually even like
show up? Because I'm thinking I wouldn't show up.
I'm thinking that's a no-show.
I'm thinking I'm gonna take a dive.
Maybe
on
pull
that
the COVID card or something. Then
Khamzat, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take my back and you're gonna choke me out, and I'm gonna tap before I go to sleep.
I will give you half of the earnings if you literally just let me tap.
If Khamzat punches him in the face, he's gonna get split open so fast. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be a doctor's. I was watching James Krause, coach. He's an absolute legend. Like his analysis of fights is so much better than mine, almost as good as mine. but he called it. It's gonna end up being a doctor stoppage because Khamzat's gonna take him down and land an elbow, and it's just gonna unleash the hounds on his face.
I don't know if it'll be a doctor stoppage. I don't know if...
Have you seen Nate Diaz's scar tissue on his face?
That's true.
It's not good, mate.
Yeah, but yeah, that's actually a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I think those there's some good I'll have to come at you guys with another episode because one thing that I have to say though, from the Dana White's Contender Series yesterday, I watched this fight. Bo Nickal, dude. Is this guy real life? Because he's like Khamzatting guys, and I know that he's gonna get another fight on the. He was so good that he wasn't even he choked out a guy in like 60 seconds, and then he was like, yeah, I'm proud because he's only 2-0. He was a 3-time national champion wrestler, D1, and he.
What's his name?
Bo Nickal.
Bo Nickal? That's like a friggin'.
Bo Nickal. Like
that's some type of like.
But he's legitimately like one of the scariest guys ever because he's going to absolutely murder guys. Like when he says
a male stripper name. Bo Nickal.
Gigolo.
Give me a nickel. Bo Nickal, give me your nickels. Like pennies? Money? Give me your tickles. Give me your tickles.
Tickle
like you
your
said.
Nipple, Bo Nickal.
Tickle your nipple, Bo Nickal.
Tickle your nipple.
There's so many rhyming like words with his name.
Dude, he has trademark galore city. Like he can make merch for days.
He has to have a super good nickname. What's his nickname?
I don't know what his nickname is.
If I swear if it's something like bad, I'm gonna be so annoying.
What do you mean?
Because Bo Nickal has so much potential.
I don't even think he has one. He's so legit he doesn't need one, dude. My name's Bo Nickal. I'll beat you.
And he's a ginger?
What does that have to do with
that? Is not what I expected Bo Nickal to look like.
Dude, isn't he just an absolute god of a man, huh?
His arms are huge.
No, he is going to murder people at the middleweight division. He doesn't even.
This is my new favorite guy.
He doesn't even care. We got to get him on the podcast, dude.
This is my man. This is my new guy.
Let's talk to Bo Nickal. Bo, you're 2-0. You're the greatest that's ever. You have the belt basically, and you're not even in the UFC, huh? Because he's like, if I fight guys in the top 10, he's like, I don't even care. It's only a matter of time before I get the belt. So it's like. It doesn't even matter that I'm not in the UFC yet.
Literally, that like shook me to my core. I did not expect him to look like that.
What were you expecting before I showed you Bo?
A dark skin, dark hair, kind of like.
Oh, so we're talking complete opposite of it.
Yeah, literally the complete opposite. Huh. I definitely thought he would have been a brunette.
Really?
Yeah.
What about it?
I don't know. The word Bo, I always think of brunettes.
Yeah. Is it the brown you associate it with?
With the B.
Yeah.
Bo, maybe.
No, yeah, but Bo Nickal's going to be the UFC middleweight champion. You heard it here. Probably
so we're going to try to get him on the pod.
5,061st. Definitely not the first person to ever say that.
I'll help him come up with a nickname.
Yeah. We'll just be like, dude, come on here and we'll rattle off some ideas for Bo.
Like Tickler, Bo Tickler,
I'm still waiting for match.
Oh, wait, that doesn't make sense.
Bo Tickler?
Bo Tickler. But then it doesn't match with his last name. Bo Nickal.
Bo the Tickler Nickal.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Ew, what the frick?
That doesn't go.
No.
We have to come up with something.
My throat's really dry right now. I wish I could reach over and drink some water.
Do you want some of my water?
No, not your tap water ass.
He's such a water critic. It's so annoying. But then you're the worst.
You drink? No. You don't drink by choice? Or
Huh?
Never mind. It's okay. David Onama though is gonna be a killer. What else is on the thing? What else, Bianca?
What?
Let's end this soon. What else is there?
I don't have anything else to add.
Let's refresh the page and see if anything.
This is your world. I'm living in it.
Oh my god.
Let's refresh the page. Open something else.
Oh. One other thing, really quick here.
How many times has he said that?
It's actually kind of fun doing this because it gives me some time to think about what I want to say. And let's go back. Bo Nickal. Okay, we get it.
We got to think of a nickname.
We got some boys coming. Big boys coming. We're talking big boys are coming, dude. We've got Sergey Spivak beating Augusto Sakai. Who knew? Like, okay, we knew Sergey Spivak was good, but how does this guy throw around almost 300-pound men like they're a bag? Like they're like it's just like a weight, like like the body bags they throw in practice. He just trips guys and throws them on their ass, dude. And I don't understand how Sergey does, and then he ground and pounds you or will submit you. So we've got Sergey coming. Sergey's coming up the rankings. And then Alexandr Romanov, who's going to be fighting Marcin Tybura, I think, coming up soon. And those are two guys, UFC, keep them separated. I don't know if they're friends. They could be friends or whatever. But the only guy to beat Sergey Spivak, and I don't even remember. I'm just kind of winging it here. But Sergey Spivak, he came in on short notice against Tom Aspinall. And where's Tom Aspinall? Oh, yeah. He was fighting for a number one contenders fight against Curtis Blades.
Isn't he out of the UFC?
Tom?
Yeah. Or no, not Tom. I was thinking Ben Askren. I always get their names mixed up.
Yeah, I can see how you get Tom and Ben Askren. Tom Aspinall, Ben Askren.
They both have last names that start with A's.
Everyone's got a last name. Oh yeah, Aspinall and Askren, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me that doesn't sound similar.
Sergey Spivak's coming. The polar bear's coming for you. Last of its kind. And then Alexandr Romanov.
Last of its kind? That's so mean.
Dude, okay.
Extinction joke.
It's not a joke.
Climate change.
Yeah, it's fucked up. But Alexandr Romanov is coming too. Those two guys, keep them separated, like I said, because those guys can just take out the whole division together. Like, oh, Sergey, you take out this guy. Oh, you take out this guy. And then they just keep climbing. And then before you know it, they're in the top 5 fighting Tai Tuivasa and giving everybody, including Cyril Gane, problems. Because
Cyril Gane?
What have we learned about the UFC? Master grappling beats master striking every single time.
Which is so weird. You would think it wouldn't, but it does.
Mm-hmm. That's why Bo Nickal is going to be a killer.
Because he has
knockout power, absolute amazing athlete, and can wrestle for offense. And then obviously no one's going to shoot
So he was a wrestler to start, though.
Yeah, I said he was a 3-time national championship. National champion for Penn State.
Okay, I didn't know what that meant. Wrestling.
What do you think? He was a football player?
Well, you know how the guys that go before the UFC, they're in the different thing? They're in before you go to UFC, there's like other types of fighting things. Yeah. I thought it was one of those national champion.
No. He would absolutely piss on anybody.
He definitely looks like a wrestler.
He doesn't even give a shit. Like, he gets in there and then he just takes you down and then he beats the shit
out
of you.
How is he good at striking then? Because in wrestling, his
first fight, he cleaned someone's clock. With like a combo. He's the man. I can't wait for. Because he was the headliner on the.
We'll ask to get him on.
Yeah. What sport do you think translates best to UFC or MMA? Like, what sport? Like, if you came out
Wrestling.
of it. No.
Okay, you mean like
basketball?
Yeah.
Football, basketball, or football.
Ow.
Jamal Hill, I think, was a basketball player. And he's how would you like to get in a fight at a street court game, pickup game? Street court game. A pickup game with Jamal Hill.
Okay, I actually think the best one to come out of would be
wrestler. Duh.
Football. Would be football.
Really?
Would be football.
I think basketball. There's some good ass basketball players. I think Phil Rowe.
Nuh-uh.
Jamal Hill, and then there's some other good basketball players. There's got to be some.
You think that Steph Curry could come fight?
Khabib. Steph Curry can play any sport he wants to.
Give me like a linebacker and put him in the cage. They're doing okay.
You're right. I mean, but if you put a linebacker versus a wrestler, who's winning? Bo Nickal beats the linebacker every time.
You think? I don't know.
Huh? What? What?
No, you're right. I don't know.
What position in football is best? Do you think a linebacker, safety? Wait, it depends on the weight class.
The biggest guy there is. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe you could get like a really athletic quarterback.
I wanted to show you. Okay, Trent Williams for the San Francisco 49ers.
Right here, 'cause that hurt when you
Trent Williams for the San Francisco 49ers. He's 6'5", 320. Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Trent Williams, our left tackle. He's 6'5", 320.
Yeah.
Do you think Colby Covington could beat him in a fight?
No.
See, this is interesting to me. I already texted that one kid Taylor, and he said Colby Covington beats him easy.
Really? Just because
Colby's skill 5'11", probably 180.
Versus size is the debate. Skill versus size.
326.5. That's a huge man.
He could literally.
My dad doesn't think that Colby
by the freaking neck and just put him down, right?
Yeah, but Colby's a big dude.
Your dad doesn't think that.
My dad and the San Francisco 49ers like a god.
Well, I'm kind of agreeing with him. I think size overpowers skill. Actually, I don't know. That is a good debate.
I think Colby.
Let us know in the comments.
I think Colby beats him. But okay, yeah. We're gonna end this sucker. It was kind of a free for all here.
It's our first time back, so we're just testing the waters again. Like just
putting our feet in.
Yeah, we're just putting our feet in.
But yeah, let's get after it. Michal Oleksiejczuk, he's gonna get a fight soon. Let's go.
We can't promise you that it won't be another 3 weeks before another episode.
I will promise you that we'll be back next week.
We won't.
Yes, we will. My
sister's getting married. I don't got time for that.
It's like the world's against me.
Yeah, my sister's getting married next week, so love my life.
Yeah. Bianca has to give a speech, so
we're not
watch the anxiety kick in.
I'm not giving one. I refuse.
You're going to be fine. Okay. Later, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For boring you. Bye.